Okay, um, so what I'm gonna do? This beautiful tiny workout space workout. Um, this is Charity Gordon, and the date is August. Let's see, I'm just going through my phone. It's the 30th, August the 1st, 30th. So a few weeks ago, I did set up this YouTube video channel, and I wanted to do, but my plans at the moment is that I don't have enough space on my tablet, and I wanted to do, and 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 there's lots of stuff going on, and within myself, and my living situation is really not good, but I'm trying to to change that around with my situation. Fortunately, with my disability, it's very difficult. I want to do things, and then suddenly I just realize, well, okay, well, Charity, you need to wait a little bit longer, um because because you need to take back a step back on the situation. um you know um and well, I don't have a space, I need to go to technology shop to set things up. And then of course, you know I haven't got anybody in my I don't have family or carers to support me. you know I used to be able to support my younger sister. She could help me, but the thing is, though, with her mental health issues and and being a carer to my mother now, it's like, who has cancer and other health issues. So I just so my mom's health is declining through, repair for death and everything. So there's a lot of things going on, and of course she's taking care of my dad's disability and everything. So it's like, this is my personal space, right? So, like, I get really depressed. I get depressed because I got a new idea, I want to do it, and I don't have a team, a real good team, you know, um, to set up this tiny space thing that I want. you know okay, I'm not personally trainer, I not it's many times I've wanted to be a yoga instructor, learn yoga for myself, and do yoga course, do to be accessible to disability places where nobody could accessible, disability, pay a bit forward with those who are disadvantaged. When I was homeless situation, well, I'm technically hidden homeless, but that's a different story. But I'm just saying, when I was officially registered homeless, I went to places where people was good for me, and in charity, mental health charity, which I went. Of course, the place is not great, but I'm just saying, some good people I met, and I wanted to pay back and do things, but everybody's got a different path, right? And progress is not forward. Even my personal trainer, my ex personal trainer before lockdown, I had a personal trainer, you know, and I wasn't able to, like, he said to me, him and this professional pro person who did YouTube videos, she also said, take your time, and she was a pro bodybuilder who was a mom. She didn't look like a mom, but she had an ideal body, right? you know, don't compare to other people and stuff, but I'm holding that baggage, it's not easy, right? I'm holding a lot of baggage. I'm holding back baggage, food I shouldn't even know that's bad for me. I studied years ago about health. I had a very strict special needs teacher named Alex Wilson in John Watson School. I was partly Wheatley Park, and I knew him from primary school, Wheatley Primary School, you know. And okay, he was not the best person in life, but he did really good in it, as an atheist man, right? So yeah, so like he was a pre-Jamie Oliver, you know about nutrition, exercise, and stuff. Even though he was not popular, because especially his parents stay overprotective. They're brainwashed by the system, and you know everybody's have do what they can, but sometimes they don't really realize that maybe they're wrong about and not let other people grow and elevate and try. You know like fear and deny and everything, right? So, like I follow Mark Piesky, right? He's a really good healer. And last year, I did a healing circle with him, and I was like, and he said about his time when he had really bad food and stuff, right? And like, and because of being in the care system, I've been bullied and ridiculed so much that I'm given to what they think I should be doing, right? You know, eating really bad food, saying you need what they say socially acceptable, right? And so I've been really bad, right? To the point that even to the point where I've been drinking fizzy drinks, which I know you see my teeth? See? That's a little hole, right? Cavity hole. There was one time a little fix where I wiped with a good dentist I used to have, right? But it was got a hole. And so and so I have been drinking carbonated, sugary, processed stuff. Go back to my inner broken childhood. You know, suppressing. During lockdown. I think a lot of people have been guilty since 2020 of doing lockdown, worldwide lockdown, that they've been giving into to all this stuff, right? So with the pandemic events going on, and so it's been difficult, right? And and I have to like go back to what I was as a child. I used to pray to God and said, God opened the I asked God for the well, the living well. I prayed to God and I said, God, I don't want to be ignorant, right? Because I saw all the adults being ignorant, and I thought, it's a sin to be ignorant. I need to learn, right? So and so like I had, so I prayed to God that I'll not be ignorant and opened the way, and I didn't realize that I was tapping in to the fountain of youth. Now, people think that's a legend. That's not. That is actually truth. If you go stories about ancient knowledge and stories, you will know that the fountain of youth means eternal life, right? And the things that Adam and Eve discovered, right? The first man and woman, right? You know, um, um, uh, that we know of. I know there's people say that Adam had more plural life, and maybe we think, but I know about the Jewish thing, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to say Adam and Eve, right? So Adam and Eve, they had they went through things. So ever since then, mankind, we always been looking for the well of knowledge, the well of youth, eternal beauty, eternal thing. And the thing is, though, in the spiritual realm, it's a fountain of water, right? A life eternal. Just like the French. I'm partly French, by the way, from my Caribbean background, from Dominica. So my mum's so in Dominica, there is French connection, right? So like the man who discovered everyone water, right? The founder, he discovered about the water spring, and he said, "Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have a fountain of youth." The fountain, so it's back in the day, people knew about the fountain of youth, right? But it's also the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm is a fountain of youth, and you keep on drinking it and keep on drinking, and it makes you younger, spiritually and physically younger, right? But but the falling part of this world is that it makes us age and old and stuff, right? So like so it falling apart. People know about the spiritual realm. We know that people um who died and everything, you know they're not old, right? They're like new, and there's even people who have visions about people who are resurrected, and how or you know taken to the kingdom of heaven. Um, you know, um, which I call the turnaround, right? As a Christian, I respect people's beliefs and what God, their beliefs and what they've been shown, right? But I'm just saying, there are people who have seen in the spiritual realm of those who was born perfect, right, and even has visions. You probably have a look online if it's you know YouTube, other places, right? Have been they've been resurrected, right? And they're in the perfect form of themselves, right? So yeah, so compared to this low level ground, right? So anyway, so yeah, going back to Mark Bieski, right? So I was doing his healing circle on live on YouTube connection, and I knew what he said, what happened to him, that he had to let go of the things that was not good for him, and that was the things that he'd been taken inside as well, mentally, emotionally. And so and so and so you know and so he changed his way of life, you know and so and he's a healthier person, stuff, especially with lockdown, everybody now, 2020 event, everybody's realized that they need to take care of their health and everything. And I know things are really difficult, right? You want to do physical exercise and healthy, and you know, we have to just do the best. And so I'm going to let go, since I've done his circle again this time, healing circle, live healing circle. I decided I'm gonna go and take all the junk stuff I have, even the non-organic fruit stuff and everything, and I'm gonna start scratch again. Yes, I have a little food storage because of because I was brought up to store certain foods and needs and everything, but also you know because when it's time to things like pandemics, there's nothing there for you, right? But at the same time, I have to, like, be mindful about how I do things, and you know that kind of thing. So I'm gonna get rid of all the things that I know that do not serve me. You know, and if someone did give me food that was in their good intention, but they do not but I know it's not good for me. I'm gonna give thanks to God that they sacrificed the money and everything, but it's not for me. So I'll ask God to repay that money back to them, and say and stuff. And then the next time I have a strength to say, I really appreciate you giving this stuff, but stuff is not helpful for me. You can just take it home with you. Thank you. Or and if they don't listen to that, just like throw it away, because in the end of the day, it's not good, right? and and I bought like sweets. I bought everything. You know, I even had to try to delete my Amazon shopping list of junk food. I know it's not good for me, right? No, it's okay to have like treats now and then, right? But I'm just saying, for someone like me who prayed as a child, I know I have to let it go, right? Especially someone who kind of like a healer, spiritual healer. Well, everybody's it's been born a healer in some ways, but I'm just saying for me, I just had a higher calling in life, and I'm just like, I know things I should not do, right? So I have to let it go, let those foods go, and 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 not waste these things, right? Um. So today, because this is the end of 2021, and and you know, especially in the time now, we can't afford to be eating well because you be isolated, right? You know, and it's not, you know, and you know, if I'm going to be preaching people about stuff, and other things I know, right? I need to not bring this stuff out, you know. You know, so it came to my meditation. I was in the healing zone with Mark Bieski to put a bin liner, all the things, even including the freezing compartment of food I know is not good, right? I got probably about a few healthy stuff, but apart from that, I'm gonna have to throw away like ice cream, things I know that's not in my general health being, you know, you know, because like I chose myself as a choice spirit to come on this earth to be my best self and be a light to others. And you know, and if I want to be a true royal of light and true royal Christ and royal of God, then I have to be a soldier, right? So soldiers, they try to be in the best shape they ever, right? You know, if you think about the you know, even in the Bible it mentions about that. You know, you of in the Greeks, um I think Apostle Paul mentions about how they eat healthy and whole, you know, sacrifice certain things, right? You know, so so as a Christian background, so I have to like need to be my whole self, and you know, especially as a healer in my healing journey as myself and being healing to others and be a well knowledge of myself. I have to let go of these pressures, right? And I have to keep asking God and the angels to help me to stop giving into things that I know no longer serve me. Okay, there's maybe times that maybe God will allow me to eat, maybe just to eat somewhere, have a treat, maybe like fish and chips, maybe, but you know, or something like that. But you know, it's not every day, right? And that, you know, maybe that's not bad thing, but you know, as I said, I know I've the knowledge of height here, and I'm forced to live low, and I should stop it. I should stop letting people suppress the things I know is true, right? You know, and it's easy, right? It's easy to give in to those dangers and darkness. So yeah, so I'm gonna do now. It's gonna go and throw throw the things that I know is not good for me, and it's gonna hard. I should have done it yesterday, but I just wanted to do something fun and everything. But I'm gonna have to do that. So before I'm gonna do that. But I would challenge anybody from tiny workout followers to have a meditate and think about what this is a spiritual, mental, physical workout, right? Think about it, right? A tiny thing to do. What I know deep inside does not truly serve me, does not make me feel good, do not make me feel happy. And you know what it is, right? So it might be the fizzy drinks, it might be anything, you know you need to let go. That's not in your power. I'm thinking not the things that you cannot have power of, right? But the things that you find it difficult to let go. I'm gonna let go the things I know when I was in my grief, when I was in lockdown, and given the power of giving to in people's desires when deep down I knew that was not for me. It's not the best thing, not best for charity for the long run, you know. And you know, I'm not happy with my body right now. You see, Okay, maybe have a tool. You know, uh, okay. Well, it's very hard. So, yeah, I'm not. You see, I'm quite semi overweight. You know, my size. I think it was like size 18. For often 14 to 18. Anyway, I'm quite curvy, so I'm mid height, so it's not that bad, right? But I know I just don't feel my best, and I know I could be the best, right? If anybody watched Rocky, the actor, he was homeless and he did the best he can. Um, Sylvester Stallone, I think that was the actor's name. I think. Anybody, please correct me on the bottom. Um, you know, but Rocky, the guy, he had to change his mind about certain things, right? So I just have to let go of these dark things in my life. You know, if I'm gonna just tell people, I did the knowledge in my life, and I know what's best for me. You know, if the world criminates me for wanting, I have been sectioned when I was in detention for wanting to eat organic food, even sectioned to having a walk an hour over an hour, and it was like it was a pavement. I was in Birmingham. I was in Birmingham. I went to, and where in a safe spot, and they said to me, like, we don't like the fact that someone like you, disabled, was walk all the way, and like I think, I told you where I went, and I even came back the time I was supposed to. You know, it was terrible, right? Those people was terrible. But I should not let anybody bully me or beguile me down my throat because because they envy and jealous, as my grandma always remind me. These people was jealous, right? And envious, and they couldn't stand that someone who's disabled, because they believe disabled people cannot do better in life. My position, as a Christian, born in a Christian working class family, um I'm who from an immigrant, um someone who judged me with my misfortunes, right? I have a lot of people judge me and disgrace me in many forms, right? But I should not let my identity take away from me. And neither should you. Um, even though it's may take us several times, I let people take my identity so many times, and I have to go back to my shadow self and my child, how I felt and upset, and why I'm the way I am, and then put it into light, put into the light that my shadow self as a child. What made me unhappy? Why did I, as a growing up as a teenage girl, was unhappy because I was given into comfort food. You know, Food was emotion for me. Those kind of things, right? And then I just let it go and say, I'm a child of light. I'm a warrior. I'm a light warrior. You know, all these kind of affirmations, right? You know, and if you're not believe in God and the creator, then then just say, I am of light, I am being. But as I said, you need to have know your creator, because if you don't, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to see very well. The most successful people know who they are inside. They know who they are inside and outward. You know, I had a guru, this horrible guru woman. She was spiritually abusing me because she didn't really have true light in her, right? And she just said to me, I don't know who I was. And I was thinking, actually, I do know who I am, but you didn't give me a chance to even repair it because you just wanted to be abusive because you couldn't stand a stable person who was asking for help because they couldn't be able to write, and you was being awful. And so I had to just do shadow work about little notes of myself to saying it was a feeling good and it wasn't, and I had to let go, right? It was horrible, right? It was not the first time I'd been spiritual abused. I was spiritual abused at church and everything, but I had to let go. So so yeah, so I just but yeah, as I said, I have to like keep remembering my theme for this few weeks. It's try to let go of the things that cannot serve you. And I'm gonna ask. I'm keeping asking God to let go of the things that are going to serve me, and that's including the food that's no good for me, the drinks are not good for me. You know, they're not alcohol, but they're just as bad as alcohol because because you just don't know what the chemicals in, and soft drinks and stuff. You know, there is healthy alternative soft drinks I tell you about, but but the other drinks I shouldn't really drink. I should just let it go. Take Mark Bieski advice and the other people that I follow as well as my own true north star of myself, my heart. My heart is telling me, Charity, you know how to live life fully and be good. So that includes I don't need the sweets, the fizzy drinks, those things that was not so organic, and I'm trying to get back to my supplements, even though it's very hard because I'm just domestic living because I practically live in my room, right? And by the time I get my supplements in and stuff, it's time for me to go to bed. Time to me think, this that's going to go in the bin. That is going to go to bin. Kit Kats. I don't need to show you much because I said I can't with the length of video I'm doing, but I but but I'm but but I'm gonna throw all the food that I know and drinks and things as if I was like one of those people you see in those videos, right? There was a time on TV where they did those videos about life coaching, right? And the life coach says to the person, let go all the things that's not serving you. You know that this is going to damage your health, and if all the things that's not good for you, and you know there's makeover movies and shows that people watch, right? So yeah, I just have to throw this stuff away. Especially my dad, he's addicted to sugar. My mother's addicted to sugar. I'm not saying sugar has some good. This every food has tons of sugar. I mean, talking about the processed stuff. Um, hence why a lot of people's overweight and everything. Um, but even this guy who was there was a Dutchman BBC about sugar. Um, um, about sugar, and he was saying about when the time was Tony Blair and how he did a test, and everything was Cadbury's, Nestle, all the other companies, and about the kids who was exercising every day, and those who didn't take this processed stuff was really bad. I thought it was I thought it was like really awful, fair with the hypocrites of especially school saying you can't eat this, and buying, you know when they was doing themselves, right? So so I was bunch hypocrite, and I wanted to testify that to them at the school when I was the class president, um consultant at school, right? And the thought of this being, and of course I lost my liberties because of the fact that I was a true politician challenged to the end, and so I end up, lost my wits. So it was really funny, but it was But loads of time about documents. So if you want to be a politician, good true politician, you're not gonna get powers from the others of the powers to be that behind you. You know, school politics, huh? Equals life. What's going on in real life? Anyway, as I said, we have to let go of the things that's not good for us, and we know it, right? It's like just like people judge about smoking, right? Smoking. It's like, oh, that's really bad, right? And then they compare it to the people like who do other things, bad things. They know they're not good, right? You know, we have to let go all the things that we know it's not as bad for us, but yet we still hold on to it because it's part of our fallen state. You know. Anyway, I suppose I have to let this go, right? Um, with the bad foods I've consumed. Um, um, but yeah. So I will report back how things is in tiny space workout and let you go. Um, with welcome to put the tally in the comments of what things. By the time I post this, upload it, it'd be probably a different date, but because of the resources and situations I'm in right now. But I'll let you get on. Bye.